Hi creatives, you're welcome to my channel. Do you wish to learn fashion from the comfort of your home? This is the most detailed tutorial you will find on basic bodice. Let's get started. Don't worry, it is beginner friendly, just pay attention. So for this front part of the bodice, we are going to be putting our fabric or pattern paper, whichever you're using, on fold. The center front will be the folded part of the fabric. So we go ahead to draw our shoulder line. You draw the line at the beginning part. Wherever your bodice is starting from becomes your shoulder line. Then next we'll get our shoulder to nipple point. It's called bust point. If you've watched my video on how to take body measurements, this should be easy for you to understand. Next we go to the waistline, which is the half length. The distance from your shoulder to your waist is called your half length. I'm going to indicate later for easy understanding. Then your hip line, that is the shoulder to your hip or wherever you want your bodice to stop. Now we move to the neckline. The standard measurement for neck is 3 inches by 3 inches, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to be making it 3 inches by 4 inches, 3 inches wide and 4 inches deep. So now I'm just taking my pattern master to draw the neck curve. Now you could use freehand if you want to, but just make sure it's a beautiful curve like mine. So next is our shoulder measurement. So we are going to be dividing our shoulder measurement by 2 and taking it down by 1 inch to make our shoulders slant, because our shoulders are not straight, so we go down by 1 inch to slant it. Next, to get our chest point, we go above our bust line by 2 inches. That will be our chest line. I don't know why my CH looks so crooked. Okay, so next we just try to get our armhole. We draw a straight line to the chest line, and then we get the midpoint of that line. That's where our curve is going to be. So we get the midpoint. For me it was around 4 for this particular measurement. Then I went inside by 0.75 inches for my curve. I went in by 0.75. Then I just take my pattern master to join those lines together. So it should be, your curve should be from the shoulder to the midpoint, then touching your chest line. Okay, so we've gotten our armhole curve, our neck curve. We'll move over to our horizontal measurements. Now our round bust, for me I used my round bust is 36 inches divided by 4 is 9 inches plus 1 inch for that allowance. That is 10 inches. I put it there. I just extend the same measurement towards the chest line. Now for the waist, my waist is 28 inches divided by 4, which will give me 7 plus 1 inch for that allowance. So I just put it there. Next is our round hip measurement. Please endeavor to watch my measurement video to help you measure yourself comfortably at home and understand this video better. So my hip measurement divided by 4. So here I just go ahead to join the lines together. I just extended the bust line upwards towards the chest. So now I'm going to be smoothing out this harsh line at the waistline to get the curve, because our bodies are curved and not like angled. So next we go to our bust span. Bust span is the distance between one nipple to the next nipple. So I just added 0.5 inches. I do the same for the waist and the hip. Then I join the 3 lines together. This is how you get your dart. Next we go to that point right here is my nipple, exactly where my nipple is. So I just go down by 1 inch, because you don't want your dart starting from where your nipple is exactly on your nipple point. It's going to be like really awkward, right? So we go to the waistline and take ½ inch on both sides. Please go back and watch this part again and again if you have to. This is how to get your dart on your front bodice. So here I'm just joining all the 4 lines together to form our darts for the front. Next, for the side darts, some people call it the bust dart. On my bust line, I'm just taking ½ inch on both sides, as you see me doing in the video. I'm just taking ½ inch on both sides, and I'm going 1 inch away from my nipple point as I said earlier on, because you don't want any dart starting at exactly where your nipple is. So I'm just joining the 3 lines together like this to form my dart, making sure that the 2 lines are equal. The 2 lines I drew, I'm going to measure them now to make sure that they're equal. So any difference, you just complete it and make sure that the 2 lines are equal. So there, I'm just placing the difference on the other side. Now you join that to your initial line like so. Okay, so that's going to be our bust dart. See, easy peasy. So I'm just going to be covering the down part of my blouse because I don't want the edge to be sharp. If you want to, you can leave it like that. I just feel it's not flattering and it doesn't have to be perfect. A slight curve will do. Right now I'm just going ahead to add sewing allowance throughout the pattern for ease. You can add half an inch if you want to, but in this video I'm adding 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'm just extending my dart to the allowance. Voila, you're done. For the front bodice, I just went ahead to cut out my pattern and to indicate clearly which part is which. So next we go to our back measurements. We take 1 inch on the center front, which is on fold, for zip allowance. 1 inch for zip allowance. So we're going to be placing our front bodice carefully on it. Now this is what you should do: fold the part for bust dart down. Fold it down because your back does not have breasts. So I'm just going ahead now to trace out the lines of the front to the back pattern, and I did not trace out the neck and the armhole because the neck for the back and the armhole for the back is totally different from the front. So I'm just going ahead now to mark out important points from the front to the back bodice so I know what I am working with. Okay, so we've got all the important points we need. I'm just drawing out my chest line and my waistline, which are the important lines I actually need for my back bodice. And the chest line is where the armhole is going to be ending. So we get the midpoint, just as we did for the front bodice. We get the midpoint of that line, and then we draw a perpendicular line to the chest line. I hope I'm not saying too many lines. Just, I hope you understand anyway. So from the midpoint there, I go in by 0.5 inch. Note, for the front I use 0.75, for the back I'm using 0.5. Okay, so I'm just making sure my pattern master gets the 3 lines on a perfect curve: the shoulder, the midpoint, and then the chest line. Next, for my neckline at the back, I'm going to be using 2 inches for the neck depth. Now the wideness of your shoulder must be the same for the front and the back body, so the 2 shoulders will come together. Going ahead, we're going to get our back dart. So your bust span, you just put your bust span that you use for the front, for the back, and connect with 3 straight lines. Mind you, this time you're not going down the chest line by 1 inch. We're only going from the hip line by 2 inches, the same we did for the front. I hope you understand that part. So for the back line, for the back dart, the dart is starting from the chest line. So for the waist, we take out ½ inches, exactly what we did for the front, and then we join the 4 lines together. So that's all for the back. We'll go ahead to cut out our pattern. Notice that we have zip allowance for the back and no zip allowance for the front, because on your back pattern you have a zip to enable you wear and remove your outfit. Okay, so we're just going to be opening the zip allowance to have 2 pieces of the back and 1 piece of the front, as you can see now. For the front piece, when opened up, it is 1, and for the back it is 2. So in total we have 3 pieces, and that's all. This is how it should look after you finish joining the darts and the sides. Thank you for watching. I hope you practice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.